All right, all right. Finally, my boomer ass got shit going, I guess. Yeah, so whoever's here, welcome. I guess this is like going to be a mini pilot episode. But moving forward, I think we're going to do this. I mean, you guys are up for doing this every week, right?
Sure.
Yeah, if
Welcome.
I'm available.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, Carmen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. I don't know why your mic
All right.
kind of cut out there for a second. Yep. Yeah, but welcome everyone in chat and so forth. Yeah, so I'm Kit from Burn One, joined with Nico and Carmen. This is our untitled scuffed cast, I guess, until we figure out a name or what we're gonna do with it exactly. Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna continue to this, I'll get some stuff made, and so we can have an actual good layout and maybe set up webcams or something or whatever.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
good.
let's see here. Where did I do with the show notes here? I already lost them.
Ooh, very strong.
Yep. Dang, what did I do with them? Where are they?
All right, I can get us started.
Yeah,
then.
get us started then.
I think we're all introducing ourselves first
Oh,
on
yeah.
who we are
I found
and
it.
our accomplishments, quote unquote, within the Weiss Schwarz community.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you want to start us off, Nico, I guess?
Sure. I'm Nico. I play card games, I guess. My accomplishments are having Kit and Dean carry me in multiple trios tournaments. That's about it, really.
Oh, man. Very sad.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but locally you're like one of our better players. Yeah, I think it's just unfortunate timing last year. You had some troubles that prevented you, I think, from going to Worlds. But
Yeah.
I feel like you were one of the players that should have made it. But life happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then joined with Cartman.
Yeah, I'm Carmen. So I'm from the Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz community. Might know from our YouTube channel. I guess I'm the JP Nats champion for 2019. That's pretty
Strong.
cool. But yeah, it's me.
Damn. Well, yeah. How have you done in like English White Swords? Like,
Um,
are you
In
also
Toronto.
another cursed player that can't just make it to top 8?
oh no, it was I think I got like it was either like 11th or 13th at Toronto. I was like real close. I had like one really unfortunate round because I played 13 zeros like an idiot in Love Live Sunshine.
Damn.
Mm.
Sounds like you got some bad advice there.
But yeah,
man.
that was our first BCS that we went to, and then well, I guess Brian's the one from the Pittsburgh scene that topped, played Wivs in round one. So that's like sort of like the Pittsburgh. I guess that's Pittsburgh's accomplishments. I guess at the moment.
Yeah. Wait, that was your first ever BCS or like any regional?
That was our first singles. We went to White Plains for trios,
Oh,
where
damn.
we unfortunately finished X2, and we're right under top cut because all the people we played left. I love tiebreakers.
Oh, everyone loves tiebreakers, my man.
Yeah, after playing at table 1, and then somehow missing top 8, other X2s above us. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Wait, we didn't play you though, right? Because I remember you said you met
No.
Dean there, right? That was or something.
Yeah, Dean was walking out of the bathroom when Brian and I were walking in, and I was complaining about the Arissa promo. I was like, I don't want this stupid promo, and he's like, don't make fun of Arissa.
That is a
I think
very
I told
deep
that
thing.
story on the last one we did, but yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Man, every story with Dean in it is always so wild and so like weird, but
Oh, I love Dean.
oh
I hope he
man.
can make it later. Pop in.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't know what happened. Dean was actually supposed to be here, guys, but something came up last second, and he just said start without me. I mean, maybe if he makes it home or something soon, then that'd be pretty sick. But hopefully he pops in. Anyway, yeah, I think most of you know me if you're coming to this channel. I guess most of you should know Nico too. But yeah, so I'm Kit. I run the Burn One channel mostly. I guess I'm trying to form a real like Burn One team now. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing Weiss Schwarz since like when did Madoka come out in Japanese? Like 2012?
Talking about like OG Madoka? I think
Yeah,
I was like
OG Madoka.
even like before that. It's probably like 2011 or something.
Yeah, probably 2011 or 2012. I've been playing on and off since then. I took a really long break for like 2 years almost, but I had to like move across country and all this crazy stuff. But like I have like multiple top eights in singles multiple top eights. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually a true statement now. Multiple top eights in singles under my belt for English, and then um, teams like I think I've topped eight every single team event with my group except for like one. Wait, right? Yeah, we've hit top eight all last season, right, Nico?
Yeah, for trios, every single event we went to, we at least get top 8.
Yeah. So top eight like every trios event except for one event in Chicago for the very first trios event.
No, we topped 8 there. We
No,
lost
no,
in
no,
the first
no.
match.
No. When before you were on a team because you were in like Korea or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I got our good friend Julian Washington there decided that he wanted to coach his opponent into killing him, so we didn't make top eight. um, but yeah, and then yeah, I think that's basically it. I guess I went to Worlds and got a really shitty 3-3 break there. Oh, and I guess as far as Japanese goes, I've gotten third in like multiple top cuts for Japanese nationals in English, if that counts for anything. But I think like all of us can kind of agree that's kind of a joke at this point. But I mean, I guess if that's an accomplishment, that's an accomplishment.
Hey man, don't steal that from me. That's all I got.
No, dude. First place means something because you're the most sackiest person there. That's all that matters. I think getting top cut in JP Nationals for North America is like kind of like, I don't want to say a cakewalk, but it's generally
It's like top 16.
Yeah,
right?
it's like top
Top
16 cut. Like,
yeah.
yeah, before they started doing the diversity rule, I think it was even easier to like top 16 because like I got knocked out of top 16 because of diversity rule this year, and same thing with the year before too because I was dumb and tried Primus or something. Oh no!
Shoutouts to chairman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout outs to chairman. Yeah. So I guess we'll just jump into the first topic here. Springfest Trios 2020 teams is up just around the corner. I guess the first one is in Chicago. Is that right here? Let me.
Yeah.
Yep, Chicago, and I think we're all going there.
Yep.
So yeah.
Airbnb's already booked for us. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And
Hey, kid, out of curiosity, what did Julian do to coach his opponent?
Oh,
We have a chat question.
Oh, he was playing against Attack on Titan, and then the player swung but didn't declare that he was burning one. And he triggered and everything. And then Julian asked, "Hey, are you gonna burn one or no?" And like technically, he already missed the opportunity to do it. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll burn one." And then it sniped like one of the last climaxes in his deck.
Oof.
Yeah, very strong. But yeah, anyway, back to Springfest. Yeah, so Chicago. So what events are we going? We're going to Chicago. At least the Burnmore crew is going to Chicago, New York, or White Plains or whatever. Toronto, I believe.
Maybe Texas.
And maybe Texas. And you guys are probably going to go to Atlanta, most likely, I think.
We might have a team up with Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz over here. Me and Dean might go with Carmen to Atlanta.
Yeah, because I don't
think I gotta
can
figure
make
that
Atlanta.
stuff out.
Yeah.
I have to get Toronto like booked out before I can figure that out, you know. But like I'm a pretty obsessive planner when it comes to travel. I have like horror stories from traveling with like Smash people. So like it's really easy comparatively to travel with Weiss people. So hopefully I can get that planned out pretty early, and then we can hash out Atlanta, because I do want to go. Pittsburgh in general, we're all kind of like, we kind of want to go out and go to as many Springfests as we can, because we really love trios. It's a lot of fun. Like we just like play teams just for whatever when we're practicing and stuff. Sometimes it's really fun.
Wait, you guys practice teams? You guys are crazy. All right.
I mean, we play a lot.
Oh yeah, that's true. You guys have crazy amount of locals.
Yeah.
So let's see here. How many? We have a lot of regionals this year, right? Wait, why isn't this popping up? I thought the whole point of me getting this ready beforehand is that I can.
There's 10 here. It looks like,
right.
And then.
Yeah, is that North America, right?
Yeah, well, one of them's Puerto Rico, Costa Rica. Toronto, Mexico, Vancouver. So it looks like there's 5 in the U.S., 2 Canada, and
And then
then
what was that 2
3
in
in South America.
3 in, is it 3 in South America? Oh, there's 1 in the middle here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. Um, what do I have here? Oh yeah, so I think like the first topic's kind of interesting. I know the Weiss Schwarz are what am I saying? The Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz group. You guys kind of talked about this. I think you guys talked about this on one of your
Yeah, we did.
videos.
Yeah.
So going to talk about like kind of like team strategies going into like trios. Like personally, I don't think there's any like real strategy to teams for the most part, other than pick 3 strong decks and 3 strong players, and you'll probably win the event. But
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have like any like
We think so. Like, there's obviously. I guess I'll talk about this first. The UA Pang strategy, the good stuff, 2 soul aggro deck
Mhm.
team. I think that holds a lot of merit. We kind of got into it a bit in our video, but like our meta wrap up. But like, it's either like super super good. You have to have a really good player on that 2 soul deck, and you have to like just if your opponent's like ever out at any point, you just get to kill them. So if you coin flip one, that's just a free win. So basically, if you're doing that strategy, you're assuming my 2 teammates are going to win every game. But like if they don't, like I might just delete the person in front of me. But like I don't know, there are good like 2 soul aggro decks now. Like the Gilgamesh deck is like frighteningly a real deck almost. I think after
No,
having
yeah, there's
Steel.
definitely like okay, so like Sunshine's technically a good 2 soul deck. You have like
Yeah.
Fate has a
Sunshine.
good 2 soul deck. I mean, those are the 2 that jump out at me in English. I know there's a few in JP that's like a little bit more prevalent. Is there any other sets that stand out as a 2 soul deck in English?
We had that one rogue Bang Dream player running like randomly
Oh yeah,
two
dude, he played
Roselia.
2 souls on me in
Yeah.
in Worlds. Thought I was gonna lose that game. But yeah,
There's the Review deck. That's the one that UA actually made for that event.
It's not a 2 soul though. That's just kind of
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
aggro.
Well, no, it runs the 2 soul Nana, right? I'm
No,
pretty sure. I thought that's what it was.
it runs
No.
your center slot's always swinging in for 2.
Yeah,
with,
it's kind of like the 8 wind aggro deck basically, but it was more aggro than intended, I guess.
I could have swore that there was a
I don't
2
know.
soul Nana deck running
Oh,
around.
look it up and we'll check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if like those type of strategies like would even matter that much because like even if you're being coin flippy, if you think you're already a really really good player, then like why can't you just outskill someone?
Yeah,
then?
why just play?
Yeah,
a good
why
deck?
play something that's very coin flippy then like you
Well,
know.
yeah, it's true. I think it's more that it just. It would be so much better if you could, co-pilot if you finished your game in.
Oh
trios
yeah. If
in
you
one.
play a very fast
Yeah.
like basically like a red deck wins type of thing,
Mhm.
like an MTG, and then you can go coach the other 2 players, that'd be really cool. But
Yeah, I wish
they're
they
so
let you do
wishy washy on the rules of coaching in trios. Like I have
Yeah,
no idea
so
what's
I
going
remember
on.
last year they were initially all for it, but then when we actually got to Chicago, they straight up said, "All right, no coaching, no talking at all to your teammates while you're playing." When they were initially like, "Yeah, dude, you can talk to your teammates, you can coach or whatever after you guys finish your match."
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would be so much cooler because it would make that like more of a real strategy. I mean, obviously, that strictly team uh, has proven results with that strategy. I think they've topped like
And
they've like
I
top
think they
3 to
only
1 every event they've entered it with.
well, I think they only did it once, didn't they?
I think UA was saying they did it a couple times.
Maybe, but I think
Yeah.
like the biggest thing about that quote unquote strategy is that you come to a bigger event, you assume there's not as many JP players who are familiar with sets. So like playing this strategy into someone with a set that just came out because literally came out the Friday of that event, the one where we got second against them. So the idea is just like they have less idea of what is going on, so they end up making more mistakes
Sweeping,
and like
yeah.
which I think is like kind of a legitimate thing to kind of consider, but yeah, I still feel like just having 3 solid players on 3 solid decks is just like a stronger strategy overall. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if people start implementing this, it'd be interesting. But I think like one of the issues why it's not it can't be as strong as it is because it seems like players don't have any strategy for player placement. Because like what happens is like okay, when our team shows up at regionals, we literally just roll a die to see what seat we're on.
I think we did the same thing at White Plains as well.
Yeah, and then I know JP players in Japan, they actually have somewhat of a strategy going in for their seats, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but oh shoot,
Oh,
is
it's
that
our
Dean?
boy.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, we got our boy in here.
What's going on? What was I missing?
Oh, we're talking.
What's,
Welcome, Dean. I gotta add you back into the thing now.
We are currently talking
Yeah, we're currently talking about
team strategy for trios.
Yeah, team strategy for trios and like
So,
whether
like,
that really
seeding,
matters or
yeah.
not.
Oh, seating doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What about your take on, do you play 2 consistent decks in 1 aggro deck, or do you just play 3 consistent decks? Or do you go with the burn 1 strat and you play 3 meme decks?
You show up with Disgaea.
Yeah. I don't know. Teams is like there's like less players in the pool, which is kind of nice. Like, right? It's like good players tend to group together, but that means that you have more like less good player teams that you have to fight.
Mhm.
So I just think like the really consistent decks are just always the better ones. Because like even in Top Cut, you only have to fight like maybe 1 to 2 good teams.
Just because there's like lower entry, quote unquote, because it's
Yeah, I mean, because like, what is it? What is a
player.
teams tournament? It's like 40 teams, right? 40
Mhm.
teams.
Yeah,
to
it's like
50
usually
teams.
what a
Yeah,
6
around
round
there.
tournament. Something usually 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just like you just kind of want to like I don't know what I just played Arisawal most of the time, right?
Yeah, you played Arisawal and then you played Hello Happy World
Kokoro,
in
and then
yeah.
Disgaea, yeah.
Maybe aggro's like the wrong thing to like highlight first. Maybe like having one, I guess I wouldn't want to call it polarizing because like I don't know, Arisawal's like a pretty polarizing deck, right?
So you say it's polarizing. Dean over here, I think, has gone like undefeated every
Well,
single time he's played Arisawal.
6-0, 4-2, and then what was it, 7-2?
Oh no, yeah.
I lost
Like-
the same guy twice the last time.
Just those kind of decks where they will delete like everything except like 1 or 2 matchups that are like pretty difficult. Like maybe
Yeah, but,
deserve
like-
more of a thought on your team, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah, but like those decks, usually the way that you if you build them right, you should have like a second game plan that you can like
Yeah.
initiate. So like that's why I like the Arisawal, because the Arisawal would come down at 2 against most things, and then I would just win. Or I would have the Kazumi like engine that's like just an infinite engine until I
Yeah.
lose the game or win the game, and the
Mhm.
pants would help recur it. So I think it's like if you do choose one of those noob stomp decks, make sure that you have built it in a way that you can handle like
Anything.
the random matchups where you shouldn't win normally.
Mm-hmm. I feel like trios, especially when we went to White Plains, just saw a lot of Love Live Sunshine on every team.
It's a good deck.
Yeah, like I don't know. I was I think it came up in the Discord. If we're talking about like strategies and like things that people are going to be playing for Springfest, I thought it was really weird that someone said, I can't remember exactly what they said, but like Sunshine, that's like a matchup I don't need to worry about. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like here, I feel like I see Sunshine every other round. Like,
Yeah,
it's
in
all
teams
I
it's probably more prevalent because it's just got so much power at level 2, right? It's like a really good noob stomp deck.
Yeah.
Like any deck with a really high floor, I think, is just the best, because then it's like your team. It's going to be very rare that your team of like 3 super consistent decks is going to like get like bodied in all 3 matchups, or even 2 matchups.
Hmm.
I mean, speaking of like consistency and stuff, do you guys think it like picking sets on a team really matters too? Like if you're planning to win the event.
No,
By that,
Ugh.
like
what do you mean
you
by
have to like you have to go Goblin Slayer, Fate, AOT, or you're not gonna win.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. I think you have more. I think so long as for the most part you pick sets in like A tier and higher, you're probably good to go. And you can occasionally have like one rogue deck or whatever.
Yeah, Rogue to Sky +2, or not even +2 cell. I forgot it wasn't +2.
Stock Soul, Empty Gate.
Oh man, yeah.
No, the gate wasn't empty.
No,
I had one of them.
you had one of them out. You had one of them
Oh,
out.
I put that card in clock so fast every time I
Oh, dude, that was one of the most fun events. But yeah, what are you saying, Carmen?
I guess this is sort of getting into our next topic, but I think the coolest thing about teams, if you're thinking about team comp, right, is that you have a. I get this might be the wrong way to think about it, but when we're looking at the playing field, and when we were talking about it, we're like, you kind of have a very lessened chance of seeing maybe your worst matchup, because only one of your worst matchup can be on every team, and like the percentage chance of it being on every team is fairly low. So you can get away with things that are otherwise strong. It's like, I don't know, like the one that came up that we always talk about, because Andy loves this deck, and I know you love this deck too, kid. Like Excel World. Like,
Yeah.
Excel World is a deck that would be totally fine if you didn't have to worry about playing AOT every round in singles. But like in trios, you don't. Like, you know.
Well, it's more of like even in trios, you're a lot more fine taking an L to like a randomly strong deck. Like, right, like if you queue into AOT, that's like AOT is not fighting your two teammates. So it's like if you take the L, it's like whatever.
It's like, I'll eat the AOT for you. I give up my life. Go without me. Like, you know.
Yeah. I think like talking into that too, like whether like old sets are like viable within the trios format, which I think it makes old sets a little bit more viable. But also I think being in a team format with other good players, it lets you be like a little bit more gambly with your plays. Like say normally you're willing I guess you're willing to take more risk involved in like making certain plays that you normally wouldn't like take any risk at all. Would you say that as well? Because I mean, if you're gonna take like
point, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's less frustrating as like a format too because of that.
It's like playing a best of 3. As long as
Single elimination is a terrible format for like trying to take the game competitively. Win best, like
Like X1 sometimes bubble. So it's like you're in like round 8 and you're like, I haven't lost yet, but if I lose, I might get like 9th.
I feel like with Weiss, it even goes the other way. Like, I feel like I've seen X2s just like regularly sneak into top cut like all the time in singles.
No, you got to go to Europe where everyone who goes X2 gets into the top 8. I think in like the States, it's like a little bit harder going X2 depending on the rounds. Because for some reason in the States here, they like to cut. They cut like sometimes like one round too early. And we're like, oh, dang.
Well, that happened to me in Toronto. I was like, oh, well, like I'm X2 right now. But if they go to the next round and I like get a good opponent, I stand a good chance of getting in because there's a bunch of other X2s too. But it didn't happen. They just cut it off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Swiss rounds and Weiss is like sometimes wonky. But yeah,
it's best of 1. It's best of 1.
Whoa, in teams it's not best of 1. It's best of 3 technically.
Well, that's why we love it. It's so good.
Yeah. So like, getting back into more of the topic of like old sets, like being a little bit more has an opportunity to like show off a little bit, like you said, Excel World and things like that. Like, if you were gonna take like an older set, what kind of sets would you guys consider like taking in and stuff? Because this is like something I'm planning to talk about a little bit more within the near future, like the deck ideas for going in with teams with like awkward decks, like decks you don't see often, like Revue Starlight and stuff like that.
Well, Revue Starlight's not an old deck. I think that most of the old decks are just like TLR is the only one with an acceptable power level.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I think you're just trying to like flex with your favorite set and like take the L in as few rounds as possible.
Prillia, man.
Prillia.
Prillia is a bad set. Like
Haruhi's over. Like I don't think most people are taking Haruhi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you
Log
think
Horizon? Even
I guess
boy,
like lower power set. I guess like here below.
Sets that you hardly ever see pop up in top 8 normally in singles. Like this is the opportunity for them to like pop in, right?
Gurren
Yeah.
Lagann for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Gurren's like a decent deck that just like
Mhm.
because of its weaknesses, it's better in teams.
Yeah, Apocrypha too.
Oh
I,
yeah, for
I
sure.
I always equate those two sets. Like Gurren Lagann or Apocrypha are like at that same sort of level where they're actually just like totally fine. They just have like some really bad matchups and some really bad like issues
Mm-hmm.
that hold them back in singles. So it's cool to see those like kind of pop up in
Yeah.
trios.
I really like Apocrypha, but like it's so tough to take that into a singles environment, just because of like the weaknesses the deck randomly has against certain matchups.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, I guess we'll just move on to like these new sets coming out this year. Like, is there anything we should worry about? Like, it's gonna affect the meta a lot for trios or anything like that?
Goblin
Looking,
Slayer.
well, yeah, outside of like what's released right now, looking at the release date, I think Fujimi may make the most impact. I'm not too sure on JoJo's. That seems like more of
JoJo's.
a it seems more of like a luck sack set than an actual
You're
like
gonna
good set.
you're gonna see it a lot. I don't think JoJo's gonna be too bad to handle. I think it's just gonna be like something that's there.
Yeah,
I
the
think
people are
like
playing it because of the anime.
yeah, like we said the same thing in our meta wrap up. It's like Fujimi and JoJo's have like this completely inverse relationship where Fujimi you won't see it a lot, but it'll make like a bigger impact on the metagame at large. Whereas JoJo's you'll see it all the time and you just will never care.
I disagree, dude. I think we might see a lot more of Fujimi than you might think.
You
Well,
say you're not gonna
There's a
care.
lot of fucking weebs, man. So they're just like,
I
oh man, I can play
hate
Cory Wazambi no Descon. Ichik, what is it? What's that show?
I
Student Council show?
You can play
I
the.
guess you're right.
You're gonna see the big pineapple head man, and he is just gonna be sitting on the board as like a 109k, and you're gonna be like, I hate this game.
Yeah, I think Fujimi will make a decent hit in the meta just because like it does that sort of 8 standby like garbage or whatever it is people want to build in English. Bang Dream Volume 2 though, that's kind of spooky. How many do we have with that in it? Based
Oh
on
my
the character
god.
here?
I think that's actually also going to make another pretty big impact. That's pretty.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna come out in time for teams.
It
I
will
think
be for
it will for like
Anaheim,
the last couple events. It will, but I don't think
Oh.
the events we're going
Anaheim
to.
and Richmond. It'll be legal at, and then Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. But that stuff is was looking into that
It's
pretty
disgusting. Well,
recently.
it's like
Disgusting.
Bang Dream. Bang Dream was like a borderline set, right? Forever.
Yeah.
Where it's like its level 0 game was just so booty, and its like level 1 game always had a problem, especially with like power. So having like a 106k that can like stack triggers and confirm toilets,
Yeah.
and then gaining a Ricky, that's all it needed. Like that shores up the two main issues with the deck,
Yeah.
and I think that just pushes it over the top.
All the decks I've seen using the Volume 2 cards look like something I'd never want to sit against, like ever. I played against it like a couple times in Japan. It is always like really, really scary. They just get stock out of nowhere. They still hold board unlike every other Bang Dream level 1.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like the newer sets coming out too. Let me see here. So like, I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of like after, as far as the JP goes, like after the Reincarnate as a Slime release, I feel like these last few sets that came out seemed really overstated, especially for like Bang Dream and Sword Art Online. Do you think
Time for a new meta.
yeah, pretty much. That's what it seems what's going to happen here. But yeah, I expect Bang Dream Volume 2 to like really wreak havoc. Lucky it's like towards the end of teams. So I mean that'll give it a chance to only like appear in a couple events in the North America, and then give people time to like readjust going into singles. Whether this set's gonna like really shake up a lot of stuff, because the level 1 combo is like pretty ridiculous in combination with toilet events. So it'll be really interesting to see how that goes.
Also, the finisher is hella spooky. It gives you like AOT tier like damage manipulation and end game almost,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also it lets you run standby too.
I didn't even look at the finisher.
Yeah, it's a cost me. You pay one, pitch one on attack to burn one on attack. When then also gives it the ability where if there is nothing facing it or the thing facing it is reversed, you can pay one, pitch one, burn 3. So like it gives you a lot of options for end game, like how you want to space out your damage.
So all of your hand. You need a ton of hand for this. It sounds like.
Yeah, but I mean, you needed a ton of hand for Yukina too, and if that toilet engine's pretty gross for keeping hand.
For gaining stock, I mean, I don't think toilets gain hand. They just like.
Well, when you confirm them, I guess they keep up your hand while giving you stock. I guess.
You have to low roll really hard to like not get the replacement hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a lot of the risk of playing that card just like disappeared randomly.
Yeah.
We have Adventure Time, which hasn't been announced, and Slime, which hasn't been announced. And looking at the release dates here, it kind of looks like every month there's going to be a new set. Do you think we're going to see Slime and Adventure Time? Well, I think Adventure Time maybe July release date, right?
Probably.
Yeah, Adventure Time technically is like ahead of Slime, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it'll be Bang Dream, Adventure Time, then Slime.
So I mean,
order.
if Adventure Time gets released in June, when is the last event in June? At least in North America. Let's see.
Vancouver is the 20th.
Yeah, it might be able to make the Vancouver event. That'd be really interesting if it does get announced in June and it comes out before Vancouver.
Top 8 is 8 Adventure Times.
It's gonna be broken.
Hell yeah.
You know, Gorilla Grodd, that was just merely testing for Adventure Time.
Got to get those Adventure Time demo decks.
Yeah,
You're gonna
it's
summon a Neg Soul Wall at 0.
It's gonna be a level 0 Gorilla Grodd that transforms into a level 3 healer, but this card
Has
gets
minus
2.
1 soul to front.
The card gets plus 2 levels on opponent's turn.
It's a level 5.
No, the level 0 that changes into level 3. So it's
You can't side it.
Yeah.
Broken.
Oh man, dude, Bushiroad hired us. We'll make sure set sell, and then everyone would leave the game.
I play Shadowverse. I know how to balance.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Adventure Time, even though it's like an IP I don't really care about that much. I think like after the whole debacle with Batman Ninja and kind of Card Captain Sakura, this set's gonna hopefully do well and like reestablish the trust in the community with Bushiroad English.
I think that like Card Captor, it's not good. It's definitely below what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But Card Captor Soccer, I think the major thing with it was poorly designed, but it wasn't like actually it wasn't Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
Okay, Batman
Yeah.
Ninja is like maybe worse than English Monogatari.
No,
Dude.
no. Batman Ninja has functioning combos.
Dude,
Yeah,
Batman
that's
Ninja is
functional
so
stuff.
bad.
I hate to like admit that set has legs at all ever, but like I don't know, it's like somewhere in that low C tier deck.
It's definitely worse than Two Love Rue.
Yo, yeah, it's definitely worse than Two Lover. Two Lover is better.
Two Love Rue is
like across the board.
Two Love Rue is really old.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I'm super excited for Adventure Time because I think you said it best, Dean. You're just like, you walk in to the first day of your job and you're like, all right, the last person to have this job just was fired.
For being, they made
product.
bad cards.
Don't make
Time
bad
for good cards. This is a common. It's a Ricky that grabs 2 cards from deck for 1 stock.
Oh shit.
And it's a 3K on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna break it the other way, right? It's just gonna be dumb as fuck, probably.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh man.
Train cameo.
Yeah, train
Always,
cameo.
man.
This is what you get
Every
for living.
video.
When you live near the train tracks, this is what happens. Before we jump into like the last thing I have here for the new sets for 2020, Really quick, let's look at the prizes for Springfest this year. I actually have the pictures here. So the first thing we have up is the top 4 playmat, which is kind of cute this year.
Yes,
I like
need-
it a
I
lot,
need
actually.
that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
I'm fighting for that.
One day, I hope Bushiroad will figure out a way to replace the really horrible top 4 font. I hate that font so much. It just looks disgusting.
Yeah.
But the mat is very cute this year. I'm very excited to have multiple copies of these soon. Oh man.
I like that they kept the same sort of color scheme from last year. They just shifted the red to sort of like a blue.
Oh yeah.
Joko's still looking cute, so I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Shioko Besto.
It's really cute. I like the whole theme too. It feels a very tropical theme, which is kind of cool. So the next thing we have here is this is the participation prize, which is the 2-1 JoJo counter. Which one is this? Is this
It's anti-damage.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's Leafa counter.
Leafa
Board.
counter? So
Yeah.
you always get to cancel damage, easy, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, every JoJo person's probably gonna run this, right? It probably goes in almost every JoJo deck. There's no reason.
Does
right?
it?
I
Those
don't know.
cards like
I
never
don't.
make their way into decks for me.
They have a really good sack counter.
Oh,
Like
okay.
one of the most notable cards in the deck. It's green though.
Haven't
Yeah.
like Leafa counters kind of just like gone to the wayside because you'd rather be playing an anti-change?
For the
Like-
most part, I think, right?
Like I don't know of any deck I own other than like Hinology that even plays a Leafa counter anymore.
I don't know. Maybe I overvalue these myself. I just like them in general. But of course, yeah, if there's other fake counters that are like really powerful, it takes priority. But clearly, all the Fujoshis will want this. This is a very Fujoshi card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, we have the champion promo for the winning team here. It's the 1-0 Alice from Alakazation.
You just call it Alicization?
Is it? What is it called? I don't know.
I thought it was
Alicization.
Alicization.
Oh, Alicization.
Alicization,
Alicization.
yeah.
Sorry. I don't like Sword Art Online. If you guys haven't
Same.
realized. Yeah.
I don't think we brought this up when we were talking about decks that'll make an impact. I think that people are really sleeping on like blue yellow Flucklight Alicization. I think that deck's fine, especially.
So I
for
think the
English.
top end is fine, but like getting
Yeah.
to the top end is, I think, what's gonna need
Is
to
it?
be figured out.
Is it going to be better than JoJo?
I mean, yeah.
Like
it's
I've
definitely
literally
better
heard
than JoJo.
nobody say good things about that Sal.
Yeah, like literally, I feel like all it does is add like 2 cards into like the other decks, and then like you wait for the 10th anniversary to make every card unplayable.
No, I think you guys are actually undervaluing it a little bit. So the early play Yu-Gi-Oh's fine. The like Kirito finisher's fine. It's like I said, like the problem is getting to level 2 and level 3 like with enough
Yeah.
stock. And I think that's kind of that's like kind of the problem a lot of people who want to play Alicization need to solve there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some spicy stuff. I know that Connor's always talking about like the Demon Sword Graham that like
Oh,
makes
please don't.
That
Yeah.
card becomes like so like the card's like really good, but like there was a lot of testing done with that type of deck, and it just didn't really do crap. Really, like that card is good for making sure to get reverses, but like the only time I've seen that card come back up into relevance is actually when 10th anniversary released. There was like a spicy deck
Yeah.
going around using that card with the Kirito, but in like the 10th anniversary package.
the Flucklight stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna really do a lot. And then
I just hope people mess with it for trios because it's gonna be out like for every single one, basically, right?
yeah, it should, because it comes
it'll
out
be
next
out
week.
for every single one. It comes next week, so
Yeah.
I hope people do test with it. It is interesting. So people love Sal, so I'm
I
sure
think
we'll
more
see
people will test with it in general in the North American audience, or just in the Western audience, because our meta is completely different. Even though sometimes we get like sets that clearly are going to be the set to play that were in JP and also in English, but like
Yeah.
because our how our stuff works, you have more opportunities to like kind of break out a rogue deck that no one thought of because the meta is a little bit different here than compared to Japan.
it. Yeah.
Finally,
Like a final thing, I kind of want to say, I think if anybody can make Alicization work, it's America. Just look at that fucking climax combo name, homie.
Oh yeah, Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Hey!
Manami?
So good.
Is
Isn't it
man.
just
That
a
doesn't.
Minami?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty.
Oh no,
terrible.
no, no! It's not a Minami, dude. It's the it's what is it? The Astolfo
Astolfo?
combo
Yeah.
from Apocrypha.
Oh.
Yeah, it has the same problem Astolfo has. It just never has enough power
But
to do
it's
crap.
on win, guys. It's on win.
Ooh, as opposed
so
to
you
the
can
book
bounce
that,
the card.
that drew you
As
more
opposed to-
climaxes to play.
You can bounce the card in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you don't get reversed.
The last thing I have up on here is the judge promos.
Oh, that's pretty good. I really like the one they got for Vice. Too bad I, don't
like
get
it.
to judge.
Oh yeah. It's
I
like
need to
a
actually
really
get
cool
my
judge
hands on
promo.
one. That actually looks pretty
That's
badass.
the event tutor, right?
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
to own one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That one's
really
really cool.
it's really pretty looking. I like it. They picked a good card to like choose
I
to.
wish
Basically,
that
it's a
was like the
spicy.
winners.
Yeah, it's a spicy
Yeah.
card.
You
to
can put
have.
it in basically any list, you know. If
Mhm.
It's like I love having like my one ofs in decks be foil, if I can. So it
Yeah.
just, like, feeds right into it.
Yeah, and then shout outs to Joseph Gillespie for linking me this because I guess this released while we were talking, so it's kind of cool.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and then I mean, really quick, let's touch on the judge program. I mean, I know we talked about this before, but like, I hope they fix how the judge program works in America, or at least in the
This
West.
program's actually pretty decent, I think.
I think
just
it
the
is.
problem
Yeah, the players that know the game the best are the ones who want to play in the event.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with it. Like,
That's
we
not
had one
something
of
you
our-
can fix, though.
yeah, like I don't know. It's weird when people who are into other TCGs want to play Weiss, right? And
Mhm.
like I don't know, one of our stores like recently getting into like hosting Pokemon events. Like, you can have someone be a Pokemon professor. Like, there's no resource for your like local level quote unquote judge, right? At your
Yeah.
local
Oh, yeah.
level. And like some people love to like start crap about that kind of stuff. And like there's no like local level authority outside, the TO, right? Who's just the guy who's running the shop that day. Like, if they don't happen to know Weiss, you're just shit out of luck. You have to judge it yourself, Which is like, I guess we're just all used to it. We've kind of gotten complacent about it. It'd be nice if there was like sort of a more local level thing that you could do.
Yeah, that'd
Get,
be really
like,
cool.
The Weiss equivalent of a Pokemon professor, like something like that, like would be really, really valuable.
That sounds like maybe too hard because
Yeah,
like,
it's
think
way too
about,
hard.
Yeah, Vice locals are pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in a sense, like you could have everyone that passes the online judge program become like a local
Yeah.
judge, and maybe like you get like once a year you get one promo mailed out to you as long as you like registered, you went to this shop, and they say so and so is the judge here, so that they'll get a promo or whatever. And even in that case, it would encourage shop like owners or employees to learn the game better, so that
Yeah.
their shop can get the promo and sell it or something. I think that would be kind of cool. And then
You just
You
want
know,
more promos.
look, I
you just want the
promos.
ability.
Give
to
me,
get
give
promos.
me more promos. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that not a lot of people talk about because, like you said, the people who we have a very like small, more tighter knit like community, and the people who really care about the game really care about the game. So like they know the rules inside and out. But like I don't know, when you have those sort of things come up in a local scene where it's like, well, who's a judge? Who's certified? You just get
Do
this
they
thing,
know
"Yeah,
the
we
rules
don't have
inside
that."
out?
Yeah.
Do they know the rules inside and out? Are they Connor level?
Yeah. Just like it's impossible to know, Like there's no local level authority. I think it's something that Weiss is missing that the other card games like in shops are really lucky to have.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, if they have more of that incentive too, like maybe like these like side judges that show up and like people that know they're not going to make top 8 or something that do play or do judge for like the regional events will at least be a little bit more aware of rulings and stuff like that and like what's going on in the card game. That would be really nice.
Yeah, I love when, I call over a judge and they regularly rule simultaneous auto effects wrong. And I have to sit there and wait for a head judge to come over who also doesn't know what I'm talking about. And I have to hand him a number out of the rule book until he knows.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I personally am a big fan of judges that let Reinhardt's get bounced.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is embarrassing. Like it's funny as fuck, right? But it's also like,
All right. I guess that's enough ripping on the judge program. Let's jump back into really quick here.
Did we talk about the possible? What do you guys think is going to be
Yeah.
the next English exclusive that hasn't been announced yet?
Yeah.
Are you ready? I've thought about it for
Give
a
me
while.
your hot take, Dean.
Oh,
I'm ready.
Japanese, like the wrestling team.
Oh,
What?
dude! All my money is gone instantly.
Japan.
I
What
would.
are you talking about? Like Kenny Omega?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like,
it's owned by Bushiroad. They own that.
They own the
Owned by
wrestling
Bushi, yeah.
circuit, and they're not afraid to print humans on cards.
Also,
And they're already trying to do like weird stuff that like weebs don't give a shit about.
no,
Also-
see, that's the thing though. Weebs do give a shit about New Japan. If they
Yeah.
like wrestling even a little bit, New Japan is hella popular.
it's beating like the WWE now, right?
Yeah. As far
on
as I
popularity and stuff like that. I even follow some of the wrestlers like on Twitter and like see their posts
Kenny
and shit like
Omega
that.
doesn't count, homie.
No, I
know.
what's her
I follow
name?
the one who
Um,
just always flicks off the camera. All
Yes,
the time.
it's
Yeah.
what's her name? She lost her belt recently. Why am I blanking so
Yeah.
hard right now? Okay,
I don't
anyway.
actually watch. I just have people in my scene who, regularly update me about this stuff.
I'd dump money in that set. That set would be so hype, no matter how trash it is.
sick.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh my god. Dean with the big brain here.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna do something. Like they've never done anything we could have guessed. Like they're never gonna give us Ruby for some reason.
Yeah, I saw that in chat. Like, yeah, it's like Ruby is the one that we always said, oh, it's gonna be Ruby and something else, and then like we get Adventure Time, and it's like, all right, I'm just gonna throw every prediction I've ever made out the window.
Homie, it's going to be the Nickelodeon Power Hour, so it's going to be a
no.
combined set of Rocket Power, SpongeBob SquarePants, and the Fairly Odd Parents.
I'd
Ooh,
match
that'd be
that
pretty. I
set.
see. I would buy that. See, it's like really weird. They could do so many meme things, but then Adventure Time is the set, and it's like,
Isn't Adventure
Okay.
Time a meme in itself, though?
I guess.
Basically, right? I don't know. I don't really care what the property on the cards is. I just want the cards to be interesting, even if they aren't good.
Yeah, as a competitive player, that's really what matters to us the most. But I would love these
Yeah.
meme stuff too.
Yeah,
Give me
meme
my
stuff
New
is always-
Japan wrestling, baby. Oh
They
man.
do own it. It is free.
Yeah, there used to be a card game for it in Japanese. I don't know if it's still being played or not, or if it's still an active product they released in Japan.
I mean,
Um,
Grisaya has shown us that Bushiroad will just bring anything over to Weiss, right? Because it wasn't Chaos, so it
mhm.
doesn't matter if it wasn't something else before. They don't seem to care. Speaking of Bushiroad, though, it's weird that we haven't got the Relive announcement yet. I feel like
I'd-
that's just like,
If I can get my input on that, I almost think like that might not be a thing just because Relive that set's really good.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just transfer to one of our last topics here. JP sets that at least as far as I'm aware, have a really high chance of coming into English. So I have on here, we have Sword Art Online, the 10th anniversary set, ReZero Memory Snow, Review Relive, Albuta the movie set, Konosuba movie, and possibly re-edit, because the re-edit includes cards that we haven't got that were promos and in another set in JP. And then on here for the meme prediction is Symphogear re-edit, since that was released and it was on the...
Don't tease me.
Yeah, don't.
They recently released the Symphogear mobile game. Symphogear was on the list of properties of hey, would you consider buying this if it came out in English, which is interesting. That was even on there. It was before they announced the re-edit set, and then shortly after the re-edit set was announced, and I was like, no wonder that set was on there. So I mean, yeah, what do you guys think of these sets here? I think for the most part
they're all
Go
They're
ahead.
all super safe. They're all things that already have support. I think there's a problem with Bushiroad having so many. They have so many sets they're trying to over support that I think it's running into a problem because right, Japan gets 3 sets a month.
Yeah, and then English only gets one a month at best.
Yeah, like 1 to 1.5 a month. No, like even less than that. It's like one every like
Well,
1.5 months.
if you look at
Yeah.
the release schedule for this year, every month we have a release now. So far.
So far before
Yeah.
delays.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, last year we
Raising
had
my-
like 4 sets to like release the entire year, or something ridiculous like that. Like one set every 3 months or something.
we had a lot of sets last year.
Did we? I feel like we didn't, or maybe there's not enough relevant sets to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of relevance.
I think a
but-
good chunk of the sets also came out in time for like singles and worlds, right? So like
Yeah.
Fate and Albuta, like the big sets or whatever, only came out like tail end of singles.
Hmm.
But I think there's like a problem with like these like eternal sets like Bang Dream that they have to print like 4 times a year, and then they have like ReZero. So I think it'd be cool if they like abandoned the less popular IPs, which I think is what they're probably gonna do. I don't think we'll get Revu Starlight.
You don't
I hope we do. That deck is so fun.
Yeah, that deck seems so interesting.
But I don't think we'll get it because I imagine Revu Set 1 flopped because like it's getting 0 results. Nobody's playing it. I don't think that like.
Hold on, I know of this one guy. I think he topped. I think it was Texas Trios last year.
With 2 TDs. He had like 2 TDs and like a couple commons, right? So that's what I heard too. But I heard that like second place team had the sky on this, so like I hear that entire turn was a joke.
I mean, feel like Bushi cares at all, right? It's just free money for them, so they'll print it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Okay.
like it's not really though, because like I don't think. God, I know everyone's out here buying like Bang Dream because they have the mobile game, but like I don't know how many Vice players actually care about Revu, and I don't know how many people are buying Revu cards.
But
I think there's actually a fairly large people are actually surprisingly are fans of Revu Starlight in English. I talked to like a decent amount of people, and they're like, "Yeah, I actually really like that anime and stuff." So I think if they released Real Life, a lot of people would probably go for it.
one of the things too, like speaking on as far as like abandoning unpopular sets or something, like we have Fujimi coming out, which is like a set I assumed would never hit English.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's,
well,
like, the most
It's a
no.
boomer set.
It's a boomer
So-
set. Oh, you're right. The
No,
boomers that
what
spend
I'm
the most
thinking
money
is-
in this series, in this game.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that like at a certain point they started only bringing the good sets over.
Yeah.
So that's like what happened is like Fujimi shook up the meta for a while in Japan,
Mhm.
and they said, "Hey, that's a self-contained set. We don't need 50 billion cards to support like Idolmaster did. Just bring it over."
Bring it, yeah.
So I think that's what happened with Fujimi. I think that's like more of like they're wanting to bring good sets over,
Mhm.
but then like they brought over Revu because it was their own IP, and then Revu just sucked. So I imagine it didn't sell that well. So, but we might get Revu, but it's already kind of past the window where you think it would have been announced.
Well, I mean, it could be coming. They could be releasing it for the later half of the year. Like I think a lot of these sets are
Yeah.
like sets that could come out during or before singles.
That's a lot of sets that you're looking at there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if it comes out for single seasons, I might actually pick up Revu as the go-to deck.
I honestly would too. Well,
That deck looks really fun.
to be
Like,
fair, if
yeah,
10th
like-
anniversary comes out, I might
Okay,
switch
let's
to
not
that.
talk about that.
Okay.
Because
So,
like Mint Snow, Memory Snow is gonna come out because ReZero.
yeah, we're getting Memory Snow for sure.
Sal will get because Sal sells.
No, so here's my spicy take. Sal 10th, I don't think we're gonna get it, and for a couple of reasons.
Mhm.
So number one, Bushiroad is really dumb, and also something like Western players don't read light novels; they won't understand the art. That's number one. That's my like lack of faith in Bushiroad. Number two, after playing the set, because I like got the set on release day, I've been like messing with it a lot. It seems very like teched and targeted at the current JP meta, which like doesn't really mean much of anything, but you know, just like the way
it
I'm
seems
playing
really
it,
strong and better than the other sets.
it seems like really pushed, and the effects when other people are playing against them, people who primarily play English, especially stuff like Heathcliff, stuff like that, they play it. It's just like, oh, that's just broken. That's dumb. Like this feels so bad to play into, you know, like the double Leafa counter stuff, like the pants back row stuff. Like I feel like it feels like playing into English decks way too oppressive when I'm playing it.
We just got Bang Dream. We have Bang Dream announced.
That's true. I guess we do have Bang Treatment now. You make a good point. I don't know. There's something about it. Something about playing it. Something about looking through the cards. Something about the effects. There's something that I can't get out of my head. It's just like this set will never come to English, even though by all like rights it probably should, in terms of Sword Art money.
Man, I have to have a hard disagreement with you here, dude. Like, it's Sword Art. We're gonna get it.
Well,
I don't like if I think the most I can concede to you is we might not get it this year, and that is the absolute most I can concede it to you.
And that's the other part. They'll say we can't get it done before it's not the 10th anniversary anymore. Therefore, we won't print it.
Ooh.
That's the third one. Yeah, that's the other part. I mean, like, I think it would be cool for, you know, but that set is that set's wild. Like, I've never felt
that set is just randomly so. It's not overpowered, but like a lot of the cards are just randomly overstated for no real reason.
Yeah,
I haven't really played against it much to know.
Yeah.
So.
What I really like about the set too is that it seems like there's so many multiple builds that are all within within range of each other being the same power level.
Yeah.
And none of them play the same, so
just like I'm finally getting to the point where I'm messing with level 3s that aren't Kirisuna because I've realized that it doesn't matter how good Ronko is, I still hate Ronko.
Dude died to like Ronko in White Plains.
I died in one regional to a Ronko player eating like they had like 6 climaxes in their deck.
Wait, was it Carmen?
No, it wasn't Carmen.
It was in
I'm right here.
Singles a year ago.
Yeah, it was the stock soul guy. The guy who was playing TLR
not
this
Carmen,
year.
Cameron.
No. It wasn't Cameron.
Was it?
Cameron's in Texas.
Was it
It is, because he was the only one who was playing that, and then this past year he played TLR.
Yeah, this was so disgusting. This dude, like, I'm out like 8 on my second deck the second I refresh. I don't even know how, but I neg sold this guy and slam a climax. He eats like 13 in a turn despite being like 6 and like 20 something. And I'm like, oh no. And then he just slams down like Ronko and mills 5 so he kills me through a neg soul wall. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I actually, like, what is this? This guy, not only was I out 8 on like every turn of the game, because like as soon as I refresh, I meet like double triggered. I only refresh like 3 or something. But then this guy just eats like some absurd amount of damage just so he can push through the wall.
Yeah, Ronko is.
Doesn't Ronko also randomly get like 5k power? So like it actually kills the Arsa on top of that?
I don't even know. I literally died from like 2 something.
Oh shit!
Ronko burned for 5, and I was like, "Oh,
yikes!"
That's a good card.
Oh my god!
But yeah, they're going back to what Kit said. There are a billion different builds that are all pretty much viable. Like every single color combination you can come up with is like at the very least playable.
I feel like they've been good about that kind of recently.
Like all the cards are like just a little bit over the margin. Like they're a little bit over the median. Every single card. Which is, I guess, getting back to what Nico said. Like all the cards feel a little bit overstated, no matter what they are.
Yeah,
like
you're just like
the Chieri. Like you slam it down, it's like this is a Chieri. Also, it's a 3K on play for no reason. Like just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Zero has that.
What, the 3K Chieri?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the yellow one?
No, it's the Ram and Ram one, right?
No, it's 2K.
But it resonates.
Oh, the resonate one.
Oh, that it isn't. It becomes 3K or 4. Doesn't it become 4K?
It's on. It's
even better.
Rize, right?
Yeah, it's on reverse,
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on reverse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like they've been. They've been like power creeping the game. I feel like it's been like faster recently, which is good because we had like a full year where like nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like players got bored of that, so now they've gone the opposite way, and it's like.
I feel like like drop of the hat, everything's got better that's come out.
Yeah, I feel like there's always growing pains whenever you introduce power creep, though, because it's like while Sword Art may seem insane and Bang Dream seems insane, like you need both of them to like come out, and then like other things like them to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we'll sit in formats where like AOT's still tier 1. It's
Please don't remind me.
we just aren't printing better cards.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I hope, like we said, ReZero Memory Snow is coming. I was actually everybody was super hyped for Slime getting announced, at least in my local scene. And I was just like, actually, I'm so upset. I wish they would have announced Memory Snow so that Memory Snow would have been around for the entirety of the BCS season 2020.
ooh.
Yeah, like I was just like, I wish they would have released the set.
Doesn't
with
matter.
the-
AOT can't beat Adventure Time.
You're right.
That's all we
I
need.
guess my hope is all on Adventure Time now for getting Kaban in English.
Yeah.
Please, like, because I don't know. We've discussed this before. How it's not the super good sets that are would be AOT. It's the random stuff in the middle.
I don't know. I've been playing some GGO, and if it wasn't for the fact that Goblin Slayer and like
Fate exists. I think that set would be fine. Like that set's got good AOT matchup, right? Like you field bombs at 1, and
Yeah,
then
that's one of its only good matchups.
you have the Fuka that says that sometimes you don't die to Mikasa.
Yeah, only sometimes. Well, it's like
that's why you field 3 of them, dude.
You mean 4 that you play?
yeah, 4.
Oh,
oh
man.
god.
You 3 cost the 2 that you had to crash that turn.
Just so you don't get burned by Mikasa.
Yeah.
It's just like I wish that deck did anything else, you know. It's like this little Sunshine Junior heal loop that maybe might not take ping ones.
Yeah, that deck is like almost like a really good deck. Just almost. It's like on the
It's
cusp.
so close.
Yeah, it's like transition into like level 3 it just feels not as good. Like even if it was a little bit better than or a little closer to like the level of Sunshine. Oh man.
Well,
Like I love the
defensive
show.
deck.
I love the show, so I bought the playset like on release. I was super hyped to play it, and like I got so frustrated playing the quote unquote meta build that I put like bar pants pedo together, and I just played as a meme deck because I
play
like the
Stock
characters.
Soul. I play Stock Soul Pants.
Stock soul pants. Yeah.
The level 0 combo that you just grab the
P10
counter.
engine. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I play the dual laner, so I don't actually need pluses, and then I stare at my opponent, and I'm like, I have like 20 stock, and I don't know what's in there.
Actually immune to stock swap.
Yeah, I'm immune. Like, but yeah, I wish it was just a little bit better, but
I think it's a decent deck. Don't
It's
worry.
fine.
I'll top with it. I'll top with it.
it has
twice.
results. It has results. Like
Good. It's gonna
There's
get
no,
2 more results.
there's like no denying it's a fine deck. It's just, you know. It's like, oh, we get in an argument about that 2-1 backer all the time, where it's like, oh, it's always me and Andy, right? It always is, because he'll be like, it has all these applications, and I was like, but what if you just did this? It'd be like, but it has these applications. So I'm like, but what if you whiffed it?
The backer
know?
sucks.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's just not good enough.
Yeah. I guess final thing about like these supposed sets that might come out in English. Like if we get a re-edit or some kind of release of the promos for Konosuba, like Konosuba right now is like a pretty big powerhouse as far as like sets with like really good top ends and a decent level 1 game go. Or everything overall for Konosuba is just really solid. Like what if we do get these promos that we don't have in English in JP, because people finally switched over from playing that weird ass 8 gate build because they were so afraid of like Attack on Titan or whatever, and start playing Stock Soul because realizing that Stock Soul has like some merit. But then we get introduced the PR, the 1-0 PR that also combos with the Stock Soul, so we have a double level 1 climax combo, so you almost never whiff your combo at level 1 at that point. Like, what do you guys think does that do to the set? Oh, they get access to like 102K counters and like other stuff too. So and the 3-5 drop search.
I don't like Konosuba being a set.
Yep, I'll quit.
I
Weiss,
agree.
Dude. I hate that set so much.
It's so poorly like. Power creep is fine as long as like they're like identified to beat it. But like, good lord, what do you do against Konosuba? Like anything that makes that set better without some kind of restriction list on like Stock Swap Fumio, it's like something I don't want to see in a tournament, right?
Yeah, it's like, I've said this before many times. When you're playing against Konosuba, all you do is play this little mini game where you try to check like all 3 of these different boxes, but every time you check the third box, one of the other box unticks.
Yep.
And like there's just nothing you can do. You can't play around all like 3 or 4 threats. You can only play around 2 or 3 of them. And then you might just randomly die to the other one.
And I don't think they're gonna increase Konosuba's power. Like, I think like, if they get another booster, we'll get that. But I don't think we'll ever get those promos, like you said.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the Katakawa stuff, right? It was the stuff that was printed in Sneaker Bunko.
Yeah, that's going to be released in the re-edit set. That hasn't been announced yeah, it's printed in the re-edit set, but that set hasn't been announced in English or the movie set. So they might skip the re-edit set completely.
They won't.
I think I think you guys are really underestimating. Like, Konosuba is a very popular property in English, so naturally it's gonna sell. So why would they not print it? They don't really care about the metagame, my dude.
Yeah,
that's kind of true.
I don't know. I'd have to seriously consider what I was playing if that shit happens. I'd have to just, if I can't beat them, join them. Because I own the deck. I own the full like Konosuba deck. I own like every good deck in English, and I hate playing that deck. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It feels like I just don't do anything. I'm just not rewarded for like making good plays. I just coin flip kill my opponent and they die every single time. Like the easiest set.
That is the reward. You get to flip a coin and you get to kill your opponent.
Yeah, the reward is, did you blind stock your climaxes or no? If you didn't, you're winning the game.
Fuck me?
Yeah.
Did Union fuck me this game? No.
Or if Aqua like mills 2 climaxes when it gets reversed or something like that. Other than that, like
mills are like a level 3 and a 0, and then you cancel on like exact.
Yeah.
That's...
Like, I know I'm biased against the set, but if they do get those promos, that's just insanity. That deck becomes like probably better. Well, the only thing that I would even consider saying this is just not the best deck in the game is that like it still has a rough matchup against AOT.
It doesn't. So, it's like no, because it has the same weakness, right? The Stocksoul combo is like also just like has to get a reverse.
Yeah, it
so
doesn't get any better. Yeah,
it still just plays garbage at 1.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, the promos help it get over walls, right? It has like a usable.
It has a 2/5 power pump, which is pretty good.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. It does
a 2/5
add more
power
union
point that's on
cards.
trait no less. So
it does add more union cards to the deck, which I am in support of.
Union is pretty cool.
Level. Yeah, I'm a big Union stan. But yeah, I don't know. I hate that deck. I hate that deck so much. I hate that deck, and I hate everything it stands for.
I don't like non-interactive decks like existing like that. I don't like decks that like don't introduce counterplay.
The fact that you can't do anything about you can't play around all of their endgame threats. You can the second you play around one, you make one of those endgame threats better, right? You crash your whole board, and it's like, oh well, like I didn't do anything that turn, so now I have stock. Now I get stock swap and then Fumioed. Like you try to not have a waiting room, but then it's like it's hard to do all of them at once, to the point where it's practically impossible to check all the boxes.
Yeah.
Listen, all I want is a Symphogear re-edit so I can just try to top every single fucking regional with Symphogear and fail. And then people will continuously come up to me and still try to insist that Symphogear is a playable set.
I'd be down with a Symphogear set.
I don't want Symphogear because then I'll be baited into playing it in English also.
I'll just have to take Chris Waifu to every tournament.
Hell yeah.
All right. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about, we can just move on. Get some questions from chat. If chat wants to ask any questions, we'll answer them. You guys got?
Looks like we have a couple already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we have some.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and read the questions off. So let's see. What is the first one here? All right. Can you guys sign my Mad at White Plains? The answer is yes. All right. All right. What's your favorite decks to play now? All right. I want to save Dean for the end because Dean always has spicy answers. Nico, what's your favorite deck to play right now? How about favorite deck in English and Japanese? Don't say Goblin Slayer for both.
Fuck. Favorite deck in English right now, it's probably going to be Goblin Slayer. I haven't really played too much of Goblin Slayer in English, just because I played a lot of it in JP. So, if not Goblin Slayer, then Bang Dream. I really like my Bang Dream list right now. For JP, it's probably a toss-up between Summer Pockets and Revue Starlight.
Interesting. I mean, I know you made the Wind Trigger build recently with the pants. Like, is that?
I have lost every single game with Wind Trigger build, but like I don't feel too bad because every single loss with the Wind Trigger build has been to Ryan Wibberley, and holy shit, is that guy really strong?
Yeah, Wibs
I like every single game. I feel like I'm so in control until I'm just randomly not.
Yeah, Ryan. My games with Ryan are always so wild too. Like I always just sack him every single game. Like it doesn't matter what's going on. He'll high roll his own deck, and then I'll just be like, swing for 3. Oh, trigger 5. Oh, he took it. Swing for 3. Oh, trigger 5. Oh, he took it. Swing for 2. Oh, you're dead. Oh, good game, Ryan. We had a fair, balanced game this time. I feel. Oh man. Yeah, our matches have been so all over the place, but he's always been like scummed out by like the Weiss Schwarz gods. All right, Carmen, what about you? Favorite English, favorite JP?
So like English first. So I have been playing. So I was trying to play 8-bar, but I just lose the Weiss lottery with that deck every time I play it. I'll be super depressed and I just like eat garbage and die anyway. So I've been playing Priestess. Priestess feels super good. I'm also still working on that like Sugumi Fever deck. That deck's a lot of fun. That's probably my most fun deck in English right now. Still messing with that thing. JP, obviously Summer Pockets. Slut for that set. I've also been really enjoying playing Railgun actually. Embracing my Nats winner in me, I guess.
Got a little bit of June in you.
Yeah, that set is super fun. Because like people just don't expect it. Just like get blown up. Also, Dean's Makoto Million Live list. That list is so much fun.
You're just listing every single JP set you own right now.
No, there's just 3. I own so many decks now.
Oh man. All right. I guess for me, English. Dang, what do I even like playing in English? Let's see. I guess like as much as I hate to say it, like I actually like playing Fate, even though it's really boring to play when you like really think about it. The 8-bar build. I'm actually thinking I'm doing a spicy gold bar gate build later. And if I ever get around to like actually like brewing it a little bit more, that's maybe going to be a little bit more fun for like the English meta. JP though, oh man, I like looking at my Max Rarity Konosuba deck though. That's like the only like one of 2 Max Rarity decks I own in JP. Other than that,
I'm a big fan of you playing Saikano, coming into locals and be like, I don't actually know the ordinary girls' names who has all the good cards.
You're right, I don't.
Auto?
Yeah, he doesn't know who Kato is.
I didn't know Kato's name. Because I don't care about her. I'm over here wanting to play Edity.
Played that against that list in Japan so many times. Kid playing that deck. It's like completely unbeatable.
Yeah, that deck is really dumb. It needs to get hit. It's probably going to get hit before singles.
Why I didn't buy it.
Yeah. Well, I got a really good deal, so it worked out for me. I mean, let's see. JP. Man, Revue is a lot of fun, but I've only been playing the standby build. You know what? Actually, my favorite Revue deck, my favorite deck to play in JP, which I haven't played in a while, actually, is 8 Wind Trigger Revue. That deck is so fun. I just sit there and go, my center has 2 soul till the end of the game. Have fun. Unga bunga boys, wake up DP, yeah! Oh man. All right, Dean, give us your spicy takes.
I don't get to buy good sets in English for some reason. I own like every bad set in existence. So I've been playing CCS and GGO quite a bit recently. Both of those are pretty fun, I think.
How dare you have fun? with an underpowered set.
I think CCS is like actually like pretty okay. I think it's like only problem is like you play Book Gold Bar, which are the 2 triggers that put climaxes in your hand. and, then, and then you like don't really have a ditch out because the only thing is you have I guess a $50 drop searcher. Is like your only really
Wait, those drop searchers went up to $50?
No, in Japan they buy it back for $50 because
they
in
sell
English
for
they're like
80.
20. They're like 20 to 30 maybe in English now.
Man, I need to go to Japan.
Yeah, I'm sitting
All
on a
those
bunch
drop
of those
searchers
too.
I have will pay for my trip.
And in Japanese, I bought a lot of decks. A lot of really good decks.
Yo,
While I was
girl
in
who
Japan.
leapt through space, homie. We're gonna have a show match with Melty Blood next time we meet.
I think Phantom is like my favorite of everything I bought because that deck is so dank.
Hell yeah.
That's like the dankest, like most high rolly deck I've ever played. And then like I always love like, Kimono Friends, but like I don't know. I feel like I need to like lab out the actual sets because it's like Kimono Friends, Idolmaster, and like ReZero are sets that I really enjoy playing. But you know, I don't get enough locals to like grind those decks out and like.
Yeah, imagine
like,
having
have a
more than one local every like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I don't really
Be careful
get
what
to,
you
like-
wish for.
if I had like 2 to 3 locals a week like I used to, I think I would be grinding those decks out a lot more. But yeah, probably like Phantom and Kimono.
Yeah, those are some good choices. All right, next question here. Another question here for what deck matchups are you concerned about? I assume this is for English. I guess we're going to just kind of leave it within the trios environment. Are you guys afraid of any decks?
What is it? Let me think.
I'm not afraid of decks. I'm more afraid of players, if that makes sense.
Afraid of sacks.
Afraid of sacks?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm afraid of running into like Ryan Wibberley in the circuit.
Look, just make sure I play him, and I'm sure he'll randomly die for no reason.
Or I heard there was this really, really good player from the Pittsburgh area named Carmen Condalucci, I think it was. He's actually unbeatable. It's a good thing his best deck is not in English. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
think I would
it's
just have
true.
to rage quit every
It's
single
okay.
time.
I can just play Love Live Sunshine instead. It's about the same level of high roll, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say ReZero and Goblin Slayer are like the 2 spookiest to me, especially Goblin Slayer. I have to like. Goblin Slayer changes the meta so much, and like changes a lot of the decks I have fun with. Because like think about how many decks you have. Like I don't know, like how many decks you have that are just like. I just like they try to have like this big the huge meta shift that's coming because of Goblin Slayer is like so right now like decks like Bang Dream and like AOT they have like AOT has maneuver gear so it's a little bit more immune to this, but these decks with these huge level 3s that they build up and they just kind of dirtle at level 2, right? They like put like garbage on the board at level 2, wait a turn or 2, right? Goblin Slayer has this like cool torch that like a lot of these decks crutch off of Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Or like their back row, or like Konosuba even, like right Konosuba Durals
Yeah.
too. And then they're gonna lose board to Goblin Slayer, have their back row plussing engine pulled up, and then just fall apart. So I think it's like important, and it's like definitely the matchup I'm like the most afraid of. Because it's like you have to build a deck that can handle that. It's like Abyssals is like a real deck now.
Yeah. One of our players has considered playing Abyssals a lot more seriously because of the Goblin Slayer stuff coming up.
Listen, you tell him don't play Abyssals. You play Kantai, but with the level 1 Hoppo, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
I heard somebody tried to do that. It didn't really work out too well, though.
Yeah, but I hear his luck is really bad. Oh,
I mean,
man.
I'm kind of on the same page as Dean. I do think that like the Goblin Slayer, it's mostly like the Force Torch, and
Yeah,
then
that's,
also playing Goblin Slayer mirrors is the other thing. I don't want to play mirrors if I'm playing that
Yeah,
deck. That sounds so annoying.
You don't want to play fucking Priestess mirrors, dude? Come on now.
Like
Come on.
most other decks, it's like you can just like adapt your like play style to, and it's like not too much different. Like you might need like one tech card for like a spooky deck like Fate or something, but like something that's killing your back row like rules out entire decks all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't play Hello Happy Roll Engine anymore because it's like you lose your Amagi and then suddenly you're like, oh God, what happens now?
What do I do? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
So yikes, dude.
ReZero is also pretty scary going.
Yeah, I
forward.
was gonna say that too. Like, ReZero just has a lot of random crap that's like good, and you're just like, great. I have to worry about tap counter. I have to worry about sack counter. I have to worry about like all this random weird stuff.
Especially
It's mostly
if people
their
are
counter.
on the multi counter. Like people are on this like I'm just gonna run 5 or 6 counters train. And like
good.
that, yeah, and I mean like that they are great, and I don't want to deal with that. Like I remember when people were like, I'm gonna play ReZero and I'm only gonna play 1 sack counter.
Thank God ReZero loses to Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
It puts garbage on board with Amelia. Like it does like double to triple Amelia, but you often have like a lane that's just garbage. And then you're gonna get like your Brainstorm Torch. I think that ReZero is a set that
Yeah.
like crutches on Brainstorm also.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is
it does,
for sure.
for sure.
And
Because you have so
and
many
you
other
just-
good cards you want to put in, so like squeezing 4 Brainstorm is sometimes really hard, you know?
Yeah, Nico.
Dean, can you say ooh woo?
no.
Damn.
Okay.
Nico, is there any sets you worried about?
Goblin Slayer
Just
mirror.
Goblin
match.
Slayer mirrors? That's what I figured.
Well, so I think Fate might honestly be another spooky set if I'm up against a good Fate player. But
Oh,
Don't worry, all Fate players suck. So
yeah, I mean the Fate player is gonna triple
The other
cancel you
really-
every turn.
like
No,
I
no.
don't
But,
want
like,
to say
you
I'm
can-
scared of a matchup though, because like the only other matchups that I'm like quote unquote scared of is like if they high roll me, if that makes sense.
yeah. I think
And it feels bad to say like I'm scared of this matchup if my opponent's a sack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I mean,
if you're like a good player already and like you're at the cusp of like some of the top players, like it's never about the matchup unless you build a bad deck. It's more about like the people you play and like randomly getting like high rolled for no reason while you're getting low rolled, you know.
Well, I mean, like, I think that's like unfair because like if I decide I want to try to play GGO at like a region, I don't want to see ReZero, right? Because I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
see those like multiple counters
Mm-hmm.
behind better level 3 presence, 2 presence.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
what I said was incorrect. More like if you pick a deck, you already know what its weaknesses are, so it's just like kind of whatever,
Alright.
right? You're
Yeah, and you know
expecting
that
it,
like
yeah,
you can adapt like as soon as you see it.
yeah.
Versus something like I don't know, like something like you can still play the game though, right? Like like when you start losing back row, I feel like a lot of decks can't play the game anymore. So that's why I think we're getting a lot of those though, right? Like it's like Slime we saw could kill back row, JoJo.
You gotta put in that tech, Dean, that I told you about in Card Captain Sakura, dude. It's the secret win.
Oh Jesus,
Yeah.
no.
You always get the plus though, so it works out. Anyway.
Fate's the deck I'm not scared about at all, I
Yeah.
don't think. I think a lot of people are scared of it, but I think the deck's kind of overrated. I think that...
Hold on. I have
Did
to
you
stop.
play against
Have
King?
you played against King for Holy shit.
I was getting there. I was gonna say if I play against someone like Kit, who never gets Weiss lotteried and always cancels on precise damage every single time, then it's scary. But normal human beings that are not gods of Weiss Schwarz will eventually randomly eat 4 on a compressed deck and are unable to recover.
I didn't even
like-
know that's a thing that happens.
I know you don't, but like theoretically, like, because like I've been playing a lot of the deck too, and my luck is terrible. So like when I'm playing Fate, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing the Fate thing, free freshing all the time, everything's great. I'm super compressed. Oh, I'm 3-2. I'm dead now because like like because now I can't do anything, and their deck has answers to Rider because Rider is a card that just never does enough because everybody can answer it somehow. Like
Yeah.
every deck finds a way to answer that card, like no matter what. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's still an incredible deck theoretically, but it's like it is the most susceptible good deck to just getting randomly Weissed. You just eat shit and die.
Yeah.
That's my experience with the deck.
Okay, guys, I'm ready for the actual best deck of the English format.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
No, anti-spirals. There's so many disgusting like neg soul walls and stuff going around. I think that'd be a really funny deck to use.
It would be
And you have the
running
force counter. You
anti-spiral?
can move the riders to the back row.
You can.
broken. All right, we need to get going into more of these questions. This next one I'll just answer. So it's what are the direct weaknesses of Apocrypha? Generally, Apocrypha's best level 1 game is actually Astolfo. You can play like the Wind Trigger. I want to say Jolter every time, but it's a Jean.
John.
Yeah. Which is an
Well,
all
we
right.
like Jolter more.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's Salter because. But anyway.
Salter.
All right. Yeah, it's like your best level 1 game, and it lacks power to reverse most things nowadays, or not. Yeah. So like, and then you have the bad matchup of hitting AOT and Swiss, so it's really upsetting. Like Apocrypha is probably a really really good deck for teams, but in singles I would never take it for sure. And the top end for the deck is like super good. I'm not even talking about like the Mordred top end. I'm talking about like playing the Fafnir dragon or whatever, plus the Jean level 3 that sacks itself. Like you can push really hard for game with that setup because you build up enough stock and you can loop stuff there to like kill people. The biggest problem is getting there is the hardest part, especially when you have a combo that's not always guaranteed to go off. But if you can get it off every game, you feel really really good. All right. Julian asked, am I actually good at this game or did I just get carried? Julian, you're good at the game, but you've been playing a lot of Magic and I haven't seen you playing Weiss, so maybe you suck now. Who knows? Is AOT considered a problem in JP or just English? So
No.
in JP no one plays the version that is that we play in English, right?
Even if they did, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
even there's so much
There's, like,
stuff going on in JP, right?
yeah, there's good matchup spreads. There's like random decks that would like give it resistance in a bracket. The problem is we just don't like those don't exist. Like if Kimono existed in English, I would not play another deck, despite the fact that it'd be like tier 2.
I'd probably do the same for Simple Gear.
AOT would like never win at that matchup.
Yeah. Like we don't have that stuff like Kaban, the random anti-pink stuff. Like we don't.
Yo,
have
hold on.
random
You
pink.
guys are really undervaluing Log Horizon right now because there's this
Oh
cool
my God.
anti-burn
There
called
is.
Shiro.
There is.
Let's
Horizon
get
is a set.
okay. Bring over Charlotte and bring over the new cards from the. Key
So long as I
anniversary.
get, I was like, so long as I get my key anniversary power up, sure, dude, got it. I can't wait for Charlotte to be tier 1 and destroy everybody.
Oh my God, it'll be so funny.
I've been waiting 4 years for this moment.
That is the spookiest set in that booster, I think. It's like Charlotte and then Rewrite are like the scariest
Yeah,
to get support.
I think Angel Beats could get spooky support too.
Yeah, we have no
Because
idea.
they've been slowly releasing, like, they have a Musashi now and a workable Brainstorm. So they've been slowly, kind of, not really, but a little bit getting support.
Yeah, well, this new
I
set
think
coming out
it's-
in JP is going
I
to
think it's so disgusting that like these shows haven't had animes in like close to a decade, but they get support. But meanwhile, there's been like 2 Disgaea mobile games and a Disgaea like actual game, and we get 0 support. This is bullshit.
Because
the
he's
Disgaea life.
actually bothering to
Dude,
feed
dude.
Bushiroad money while
Yeah.
Nippon Ichi's like telling Bushiroad to fuck off.
I don't.
All
He's
right.
making the big money, dude.
All right. Next question is, what deck is most liked to surprise this year that way? Oh, the way that Card Captor Sakura did at Worlds. I mean, do you guys think any sets are gonna like possibly make like a breakout this year that maybe we haven't
P5.
seen?
Huh?
P5? Yes,
Milky
P5.
Homes.
Oh wait,
Milky
Milky
Homes
Homes.
demo deck.
Milky Homes demo deck.
I'm gonna keep.
I
chilling.
heard it's gonna top somewhere.
I also heard Milky Holmes somewhere. I heard there's this really degenerate Milky Holmes player running around too.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
It's really cool. We can make it be reality.
I want someone to do well with P5. Set's so disgusting. Like,
I'm sorry, I can
Only play a deck once.
yeah.
So I think the crappy part about P5 at the moment is like if a lot of people are on Priestess, like Ryuji doesn't get around that. If
What?
that
They have
makes
a
sense.
Dachi.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
How
man,
could I
you have a
forget?
Dachi.
Get fucked. Oh, that card's unstoppable.
Oh man. All right. I guess like the next one is this. Are you ready to remax Konosuba with re-edit Rainbow SPs? No, I am not doing that.
Pussy.
I know. I like my wallet. Grisaya, though, on the other hand, maybe. I think there's some merit in the Grisaya. We'll see though. Thoughts on Jason Malik as a player, guys?
I think he's okay.
He's an
played
alright.
against him,
I heard
yeah.
I heard he beat some scrub in New York and then also beat some scrub in Worlds in the
Yeah.
mirror. Yeah, must be a good player.
Honestly, like, yeah, he's a good player. Like, he's one of those guys I don't ever want to run into in a bracket.
Yeah, playing against
Still
Jason would be
salty.
rough.
I'd play him in
I'm
bracket.
still
Round
salty.
1 of New Jersey. I don't care. I want my run back.
I do want my run back.
Oh yeah, the power of reading cards, Dean. One day. Well, actually, more like Bushiroad getting their shit together on translations. Oh man. Oh yes, and then everyone's pointing out everyone loves Train Coon.
Everybody
Oh,
loves
there
the
he
Train.
is again. If only I had custom emotes in this chat, I'd just make a train emote for everyone to spam in chat whenever the train comes by. Um, what's the setup for teams, fellas? Dude, the setup for teams is just win. That's our strategy. If you win, you can't possibly lose. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
I do think
Confucius
people
said that.
really overthink the strategy that UA and his team like employed last time. I honestly just think if you bring like 3 really good decks, you should be fine if you're all good players. Because at that point, you minimize variance, and a lot of the times, it should just go down to the skill of your players versus their players.
Yeah, definitely think about the meta a little bit, but like you shouldn't like fear too much unless your like deck has like 4 bad
Matchups, and then it's probably not a good deck.
Mhm.
Oh, I skipped this question earlier. I just realized. Oh, this will be our last question, and then I guess next week we'll do another thing like this. It'll be a lot of fun. Where did it go? I think I skipped by accident. What are some things beginners should know when starting to enter competitive Weiss? We didn't answer this question, right?
No,
No,
no.
okay.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
this is a good question to end everything. God damn the spam of these trains. All right, and
Yeah,
this will be a
sorry,
good
I
question
thought
to end the stream on. So I'll just start off with something really simple, and then you guys can get into the like, crazy stuff. Like, as far as like getting into competitive Weiss, I guess at a local level, the biggest thing is just like to understand your deck as well as make sure when you build your deck that it consistently does whatever your game plan it wants to be, along with like having very solid refreshing 7 or 8 like every time possible without going too ham. I think is like the basis of everything. Also have fun. In my opinion, having fun is the most important part.
That's not part of competitive.
What? Yeah, it is because having fun means you're winning. But
I like it.
Damn.
yeah, just like focus on that as far as things go at the local level and stuff. And then if you're like talking about getting into like the regionals and things like that, like once again, it's just like if you've never been in like a really competitive environment, nerves will really get to you. But there's no reason to actually be nervous because everyone at this event is a filthy weeaboo. Like, dude, if you have a job and you don't live in your mother's basement, you're better than everyone currently in the room.
Yeah, you got like a leg up on everybody else.
If you lose, you just tell them.
Hold on. Pause. A lot of the people I've actually interacted with at these events, for whatever reason, are weebs, but they all seem to be like, yeah, I have a full-time job. Sometimes they even have like a fucking family and shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck
Well,
is
when
this?
you sit down across the max rarity deck, you know it has to come from somewhere. So,
Yeah.
maybe don't talk shit on those people because they have money. But everyone else, yeah, they suck. But yeah, just don't give a crap about nerves or anything like that. It's kind of tough in the beginning, but like after you get used to it, it just becomes like another day playing Weiss Schwarz. But yeah, I guess you guys got anything to put in?
Sure, I got one thing. So this has kind of also come. So I played poker a fairly decent amount, kind of like throughout my life. Know what's variance and know what's what's making a bad play, if that makes sense. This isn't like, I guess this isn't like super beginner, but sometimes you'll be like, damn, I can't believe I've lost. Always try to like think about the plays you make, and I think I may have stolen kind of like Dean's input here too, because he always says this all the time. Just try to think about like what you could have done better in the game. Try to think about the spots in that game that were questionable, and maybe if you could have had like a better line in there. And don't try to like bang yourself up too much on losses, because sometimes people are sacks. Like, it happens.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna spring off that. It is Weiss. Like you have to keep. I think the biggest thing for newer players is putting a lot of value into like posthumous information, where like, oh, like I would have lived if that climax was 2 up in my deck. It's like that.
Oh
that
yeah, that's
can't be
confirmation
it.
bias bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't fall for that.
It's
Don't
called
fall
being
for it.
results oriented. Don't be
Yeah.
results oriented. Try to
Yeah.
always think about making the good play.
Being results oriented is a big trap, especially if you've been in because
Magic, Hearthstone, poker, like a lot of
Yeah.
other card games, it's like it's really bad to be results oriented.
or even like because I came from Melee, like I came from Smash, like that is an absolute meritocracy all the way down as your social worth as a person is how good what your results are in the game. It's pretty toxic and disgusting. But that's where like I was coming from, right? So like Weiss is really not like that. Like you need to value more that you're making the right play in the moment, not like being super results oriented, I guess.
Trust your gut.
Dean with the opposite. Don't even think. Just whatever you feel. Feel is all
Just
that
turn
it
cards
is.
sideways, homie. That's all you gotta
You have
do.
to feel. You have to feel those Weiss gods. There are so many times that I'm just like, I feel the right play. Or I feel the wrong play's about to happen. I don't know. But
Then you do it anyway.
I don't know, because I think there's a lot of I think there is a lot to playing to the like stats, like you guys say, and like like learning to like identify the right plays.
Mhm.
But the thing
But
is,
there's like intuition, dude. I believe
Yeah.
that there is like an intuition that like maybe transcends the stats.
Well,
no, I agree with
yeah,
you.
yeah. Like to kind of like hit on that point of like having like that
Sometimes
intuition.
you need to high roll.
Yeah, sometimes
That's
you need to
kind of the thing.
understand,
Yeah.
like, you need to risk more at this moment because, one, you can, and two, like, if you risk just a little bit more, you can close out this game in a way that your opponent has no way to really come back without sacking super hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like literally like derp or derp, I play climax every turn because I have it in my hand or whatever, I
Yeah.
feel it in my pants,
Time
you
to
know?
push damage.
Yeah, sometimes...
What's that old mill runner video we did? Sometimes you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
supposed to field 3 and slam 2 soul every single time.
Yeah.
Or every single turn, rather.
I think another thing for new players, I guess I'm pretty notorious for being like super, like I just grind like all the games I play like a lot. I think with card games, people don't think about that, where like you're putting a lot of time in and stuff like that, and you're like playing a lot, you're thinking about it a lot, because like in something more like a fighting game, which is where I came from, like there's a lot of I guess there's sort of like a technical floor you need to reach, and in a card game that's not there, but that doesn't mean that like if you throw yourself at it, you're gonna see improvements. Like don't be afraid to throw yourself kind of whole hog at it,
Yeah.
because like you will see results faster. Like it's like anything else. Just because it doesn't seem that way at the beginning, because it is like a fully mental experience, doesn't mean that it's not valuable.
Yeah,
Like
but to touch on that a little bit too is just like it's only valuable if you think about like reasons you won, reasons you lost and stuff. If you're just playing and not thinking afterwards about your game or like even during the game, then I think you won't. You'll still
gotta
improve, but
self-think.
you won't make as big of the leaps as you would normally would if you were more conscious about your decision making and stuff like that.
Well, and that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like Weiss in all trading card games versus something like I always fall back on competitive Smash as I play, but like fighting games or sports or like anything like that, because those have like the idea of like you can like train your subconscious reactions to situations, whereas a card game is like full on like conscious thought only.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep that in mind while you're playing a lot too, and you'll see success faster.
Oh, I thought of another one.
What?
The oh shoot, I lost it. Continue.
Oh man, Dean.
But I don't know. That's just my approach, because like I think most people know now. I've been playing like a year and a half. I guess. And it's just like that was always my outset from the beginning. Like that's just was my approach from it, and it really worked for me. So I got a show for it, I guess.
I remember now. It has to do with I think if you're new to the game, like once you start, once you're trying to get competitive a little bit, maybe not only pick up competitive decks, but maybe pick up decks from like forever ago. Like just pick up like some of the most bland vanilla decks you can, because that teaches like that's a lot.
You
So,
learn
like,
a
if
lot
you're
of
playing-
fundamentals from
Yeah,
there, if
'cause
that
if
makes
you're
sense. You
playing-
learn to make a lot of like good
Like-
lines and safer plays.
Safer
Yeah.
plays and like
Agreed.
more consistent plays. Because a lot of decks, you can just be like, I'm just gonna hit my brainstorm and I'll have the perfect hand, and then you hit your brainstorm, you have the perfect hand in like a modern deck.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you were playing like garbage, right? It's like without that brainstorm, you would have. And like a lot of the older decks, your pluses are a lot more limited, and your hand sculpting is like.
It's a lot more meaningful, you
Yeah,
you don't have the crazy filter that the new sets do.
Yeah, and I think that like that helps you like think about the game more, so you don't have to like rely on the filter, right? That's why I've always felt weird when people play like 4 Azusa in it, because I'm like 4 Azusa always feels like overkill to me, because like you don't need that much filter for a body that does nothing, but like some people they need that crutch, and I will openly call that a crutch.
Listen, man, I'll run 4 Azusa in my fucking rewrite Gaia deck if I want to, dude.
Look, I just feel like people.
I don't have any better cards to put in that slot.
Like it's why I enjoy playing like something like Disgaea or Phantom, right? It's like you go back to these old decks that don't have these utilities, and you have to like play the decks. And I never feel uncomfortable playing most of those old garbage decks. And I feel like that's like it expands upon skills that otherwise you won't gain.
It's kind of weird because the way you say it, it's like these older sets weren't as modernized as now, right? So we don't have like the crazy tools like you said. So every decision you make is more impactful of the outcome of the game for those older sets. So every card you decide to get off of brainstorm, whether you brainstorm now or not, and things like that, whether you maximize your opportunity to hit brainstorm even is important. Like instead of doing a 4-card brainstorm, if you did a 5, you would have hit, like type of things. Like that happens nowadays too. But back then, those like little incremental advantages you would play for were way more impactful. Were way more impactful.
And you say that as I think I'm thinking back now. It's like my first like competitive deck was like Cosme Yukina Bang Dream. It's like super filter, like super crutch, like all the time, basically. Yeah. And then went from that to like my deck after that was like Nisekoi.
So like you.
Yeah, it's like so, and I was just like, oh, like I'm playing without all these tools, but like these are the better plays, right? And then I went back to Bang Dream after playing Nisekoi for a while, and it's like, oh, I've learned a lot from playing this old set.
Yeah, like old sets have a lot to teach, and I'm talking like, God, how far back? Like, really? You have to go pretty far back. Like, modern TDs are probably better than what I'm thinking of.
Modern TDs are crazy now.
Yeah, they're really good. Like you can take those to locals and like win.
Yeah, like they're fine.
Yeah, you gotta play like some really like struggle bus set like Monogatari or something. Something that like you just don't have the advantage engines and like everything like your brainstorm's a tap 2 that sucks or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good spot to end everything on.
I think we had one more question.
Did we?
Kind of in there. It's from Tang. He thinks, which is more viable, Book Bar Sao or Pants Bar GGO? What do you guys think?
GGO?
Book Bar Sao. So Yuki Sinon Sao or what is it? The Union and Pito combo for GGO.
Okay, I've played the Union Pito combo a lot. That deck is the most fun deck that just automatically loses the stock swap. That deck is so sick. It has an awesome heal finisher. It like you can shove so much filter in it. Like you get to run the scanner engine. Feels awesome. It's like playing Goblin Slayer, but not. And it's super sick. You can just like run through your deck whenever you want. You have all this crazy filter. The deck sucks. Play
Yeah, play
actually
Playbook Bar.
sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna chill. So like, I've hated playing bar book style for a long time until I played Kuhn's build. Check that build out. That's the most fun I've ever had playing that build. You just don't play any early plays. You just play the early play killers.
All right. Yeah, I guess let's end it there, guys, and then we'll save everything for next week. Well, you guys are all good for next week? Are we gonna have any issues for next Friday?
I think I'm
I
free
don't know.
Friday.
Okay. Dean does not know. All right. Well,
Dean's like,
Three of
guys,
us-
I might fall asleep playing Monster Girl Quest again. My bad.
yeah, so let's shoot for next week. We'll have kind of like, I think we'll have like our official episode. Maybe I can set up some stuff for webcams or something, so you guys don't have to look at this boring ass screen the entire time. And then whoever wants to go on a webcam or whatever, we can have that going. Next week, I think we'll do the same time. I'll just set up another. What is it?
Dude, we can't be on webcam. How am I? You're gonna get the stream banned. I'm constantly drinking right now.
I don't think that I actually don't know what the TOS is for you.
Yeah, if there's a drinking thing, I instantly have a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. Screw it. We'll get demonetized or whatever, and that'll be fine. Whatever. But let's try that for next week if you guys can or whatever, and then we'll do same time 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday the 28th. I'll set up a scheduled stream thing again. Now that I've learned from my boomer ways, I know how to actually start the stream and everything beforehand, and we won't have any issues. And then we'll kind of do the same thing. But I think next week maybe we'll do a little bit. Maybe we can do this where we flop back and forth between focusing on English and focusing mostly on JP. Like, we can hit up on either ones, I think, but we'll just make the main topics next week more about what's going on in JP, and we'll just kind of see how that turns out. And then as long as we have content to talk about and things to talk about, we'll try to do this every week. I think when more of the regionals start popping up, we're going to have to miss some of those. But
No, man. I mean, we don't even need to talk about content. Like, for some of these, we can probably just do, like, match analysis or whatever, you know?
Yeah. But I at least want, like, one topic or whatever to, like, have some in-depth fun or whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Besides that, do you guys have any shout-outs, I guess, before we go? I guess, Carmen, you should go first. Chill your shit.
So Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz, we're here on YouTube. We do deck techs every Friday, and we also have some other stuff coming up. I think our next set review is probably Fujimi, so keep a lookout for that.
All right.
That's it.
Nico, Dean, you got anything you want to shill? Any social media stuff or anything?
Just because I might be going back to Korea soon, shout out to the Weiss Schwarz Korea community yet again, especially my boy Sim, my boy Kim, and my boy Beck. Also, DeCapo guy. I forget your name, but you are the fucking Lord of DeCapo.
Nika or Dean?
Nah.
Okay. Not even like play Monster Girl Quest or anything like that?
No, it's a good game though. Not ironically, it's a good VN if you get the horrible arrow. It's not really that though.
All right.
The art's too bad.
All right, and then hopefully most of you guys know me as well. Kit, Run Burn 1 and all that, so make sure to subscribe to this channel because I said so for reasons. Also, I still am in need of a lot more Twitter clout, so I need you guys and all of you who have Twitter to go on Twitter and follow me at KitoriJP. I'm going to type in chat because I need this to happen. All right. You need to follow me.
5 more followers.
Heck yeah, dude. One day I will beat the amount of followers my girlfriends have. I only need 2,000 more followers to beat her. So, so follow me at KitoriJP on Twitter. I post about Weiss occasionally. If you respond to my post on Weiss, I'll talk more about Weiss. Otherwise, I just sit there and retweet good anime art and other boring stuff.
Kit does have good taste.
Yes, besides that, next week, same time, same crappy YouTube channel. We'll see you guys there. Later.